Hello everyone, welcome to Vesna TV DIY. I'm Vesna. Thank you so much for dropping by. Today's episode, I'm creating these grapevines into a wreath. I cut these from my mom's garden. She has a long grapevine all along her fence, so I cut a few branches off. As you can see, they're nice and dry, and they're perfect for this project, but they're not too brittle, which is great. That's what you kind of want to look for. It's that kind of sweet spot. And I am starting off with using the longest branches. So you do want to try and find branches that are as long as possible, I guess as much as you want, depending on the size of your wreath. So you start off with your longer branches. And then you can either use a floral wire or in my case, I started using like a fishing line, but I didn't like the way that held for the first one, so I used floral wire. I just didn't have the silver one, I had the one with the green. So you'll see at the end when I'm done my wreath, I wind up cutting that out because I don't want that showing through. But just to help hold the wreath, that's what I do. So I make my form as big as I want it, and then I put the wires on the ends so that it holds a round shape. And once you attach those branches together to make your circle, your wreath shape, then you really don't need that floral wire or the nylon from like the fishing line at all, because you'll just be using the wreath itself to put this together. You'll see like I kind of braid the other branches around to make it all kind of fit together. And I do leave all of the little curlies and some of the little branches sticking out because I think it'll add to the rustic look of this wreath, and it'll give it some depth and some character. So as I mentioned, I grab another long branch and I wrap it or get round again this wreath, and I just kind of braid it in and out until I get it all the way around, and then I just kind of hook it in so it stays into place. And I do this with the other ones too until I get the thickness that I'm looking for. So really how much material you use depends on what size of wreath you want to make and how thick you want to make it. So this is kind of like trial and error for you, depending. I mean, you could leave it like this and it would be like a cool little thin wreath, or you can make it thicker or really thick. It's totally up to you. So before I show you the rest of my piece, this was my inspiration. It is from Wayfair, and it was $136 original cost. So you'll see I made mine for much less. And this episode is a part of the High End for Cheap collaboration. This is hosted by Deco Easy and Kiki's DIYs. These ladies host this collaboration monthly, and it's every second Tuesday of the month, where we have to recreate something either that we saw at the store or from another YouTuber and make it ourselves for less. So that's what I'm doing here. And there'll be a playlist, so make sure you check everybody out and check out Kiki and check out Deco Easy. You'll be amazed by their super creative talents. Alrighty, so let's continue. So I continue to wrap around most of the branches that you saw in that pile. I only wind up having about 2 or 3 left over. And again, just taking off any pieces that are sticking out and making the wreath not flat, and just continue wrapping it in and out and in and out. So near the end, then I wind up kind of tucking in any pieces that are sticking out, cutting out any pieces that are kind of sticking out too much. And I also wound up cutting one branch in half and just tucking it in because it was making the wreath kind of a wonky shape. And then I also just wrapped some of the branches that just would not tuck in that fishing wire because it's clear so you can't see it. And I wound up cutting the floral wire out with just wire cutters. And then it's time to make it pretty and decorative. Now, what I really like about this wreath is that I can change it out for the seasons, which is great. So if I want to use it for spring, summer, fall, winter, Easter, whatever, I can. Probably even for Christmas I could dress it up if I wanted to. So this is just the base, and the base will stay the same always. And then instead of hot gluing anything in, I'm just kind of pushing decorative pieces in there. Now, it being spring, I'm using spring florals. Now, our Dollar Tree has been kind of slim pickings with florals, and same with Dollarama. I'm not sure if any of the other Canadians that are around here have found the same thing, but I'm kind of going with what I have. Now, mind you, I have not been religiously going to the Dollar Tree because I spent a lot of money at the Dollar Tree last year, and I'm trying not to spend as much this year. So I am reusing some of these things. Now, I don't know if I bought this year or if I bought it last year, but I always buy these greens because I really like them and I like to use them in a lot of my DIYs. So I always like to have them on hand. And all I'm doing is just pushing them in and then adding, kind of just getting it to look the way I want it to. And all you do is you just want to balance off the sides. So if you have a green and a green on each side, and then a lavender and a lavender, and then something in the middle. Now the inspiration had burlap. I didn't want to do burlap. I had a nice silver ribbon, and I really like the way that looks with the lavender, so that's what I'll be using here. But again, you just tuck them in wherever you need to, and if you really need to place them in there, you could use that fishing wire, or you could use a floral wire if you had it. And that's all there is to it. I do wind up adding some grass as well, which I forgot to mention. And like I said, the great part of this is the choice is yours, what you want to put in there. Anything at the bottom, or if you wanted to do it on the side, or even to go the whole way on the side, it's totally up to you, totally customizable, as are most things that I make on my DIY channel. I like to make them so they're versatile and you can make them kind of to your taste. And so here is the finished piece. Before you finish this video, or make sure you have liked and subscribed to my channel, and please do leave me a comment. Let me know if you think I nailed it. Here's the original, or I should say inspiration, which was 136 Canadian. And here is mine, which cost probably a total of $4 with the florals. And it's here on my fireplace. It makes an awesome decoration, and I think it turned out really great. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out everybody in this collab. I will have their channels linked in my description below. And make sure you check out Kiki's DIYs and Deco Easy. Amazing ladies. Actually, all of these ladies are super talented in this collab. So make sure you check everybody out. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, do all the fun things, and see you next week. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.